Welcome to the Big Match Revisited, a chance to look back at the way football was televised 4 decades ago. This edition was shown at the end of April 1977, the FA Cup semi-final between Leeds and Manchester United. It's pure football nostalgia, with host and commentator Brian Moore.
And welcome to this semi-final edition of the Big Match, where we feature, as you've seen, the tie between Leeds United and Manchester United at Hillsborough. A really gripping game with a positive conclusion to it, and you can see the action. And after we've seen it together, we'll meet some of the men who contributed to it. Also today, the first week of our Golden Goals competition. We've cut our top 20 goals to a final 6, and now it's your turn to vote. And I'll be telling you a bit later on in the programme how you can do that. So we've got plenty of action lined up for you, but first we go off to Hillsborough, Sheffield for Leeds United against Manchester United. A match covered for ITV by Yorkshire Television, and we join their cameras here as the teams come out on a bright and windy afternoon. Two sides who met at this stage in 1965 and 1970, both times Leeds winning after a replay. A crowd of 55,000 adding enormously to the atmosphere of the occasion. Those are the ones inside with tickets. If they hadn't got a ticket, they had to take to the trees. The Leeds side, Alan Clark passed fit during the week. It's a strong and experienced side. Paul Reaney, for example, played in both those previous semi-finals in 65 and 70 against Manchester United, and Peter Lorimer will be their substitute. Manchester United, no problems at all for manager Tommy Docherty, a full-strength side, and of course it's virtually the side that took United to the final last season. But there is one important change, because a man who's given an added balance as well as penetration to the side in the past few months is in fact Jimmy Greenoff, the striker they bought from Stoke City. He presents quite a danger to Leeds United. And a man who's always a danger is Alan Clark of Leeds, even though he says himself he's not quite 100% fit. Referee Tom Reynolds, formerly of Swansea, now a hotelier in Wiltshire. And now we're all ready for the start.
So Manchester United kick off in red shirts and white shorts, attacking the goal to our left. Leeds in their all-yellow strip, and Wembley awaits the winner. The manager of Leeds United, Jimmy Armfield, saying before the game, Wembley now is a carrot dangling before us. All we've got to do is eat it. Well, to eat it, they've also got to devour a Manchester United side that'll come hard at them with some attacking football, and with the knowledge that they came here a year ago and beat Derby County in a semi-final then, before losing at Wembley to Southampton. Here's Alex Stepney. McQueen up well. All two United players, Macari and McElroy, going for that same ball. A little back flick there from Gordon Hill that could have caused a bit of damage to that Leeds defender. McElroy then with the throw for Manchester United. Jimmy Greenoff, back for Sammy McElroy. Pearson waiting in the middle. On the far side is Koppel, but headed away there well for Leeds United by Peter Hampton. Clark, a very competitive element in this game already. Cherry into the space for Curry. Reaney making one of his famous overlaps, and there it is, beautifully waited for him. Down, no, it's not. Reaney couldn't quite get it, just played a little too firmly there by Curry. Great player, Paul Reaney, played in the 1965 semi-final against Manchester United, and in 1970. Clark, played on again for Curry. Looking promising this for Leeds. McElroy desperate to get back, forcing Curry away. And doing well. But a throw then. Oh, there's a little bit of flick up there between Reaney and Hill. As the nerves and the tension begin to show. So here's Stepney. Pearson. Very difficult indeed for players to judge the ball in this gusty wind. Koppel. And the two Greys are after him. Frankie and Eddie. And a throw to Manchester United. Black clouds over the hills above Sheffield, and judging by the flags, the wind is bringing them this way. Koppel, and a corner. First one of the game. So Hill with this corner, as Leeds organise themselves in their penalty area. On the wind, a back header by Houston, and Jimmy Greenough. The break they wanted, with 8 minutes gone. There's the corner from Gordon Hill. Houston's beautiful back header. A missed kick there, and the number 8, Jimmy Greenough. 1-0 to Manchester United, 8 minutes gone. Frankie Gray's error that put the ball invitingly for Jimmy Greenough, himself a former Leeds United player. Well, a tremendous start for United. Leeds, a team of enormous character and capable normally of soaking up all the punishment that can be thrown at them. They'll have to soak up a lot now, but what is more important, they've got to come out and create chances themselves. Here's Houston, whose back flick from that Hill corner really opened the way. Greenough to Hill. And back it goes from Buchan to Stepney. Greenough. McQueen in there. Macari. Pearson. Handball. Good decision. The long kick from Madeley. The wind there. Frankie Gray right in there. Clark right in there. Goal kick. The long free kick there from Madeley. Joe Jordan winning a good ball in the air. And Clark over the top. Hard work for Alex Stepney, hitting it against the wind as strong as it is here. Just over the halfway line, McQueen winning it well in the air. Here's Jordan. McElroy to Hill. Houston. McQueen is there, taking no chances. Brian Greenough. Macari. Crowd enjoying that, at least the Manchester United area is. A throw to Man United. Greenough. Hill planted high and hopefully forward. Oh, that time Pearson won it in the air, and it might come now for Koppel. That's the second one. A brilliant goal for Manchester United. Stevie Koppel. What a start. 15 minutes of a semi-final. When you're all knotted up with nerves, there's nothing better than 2 goals in the first 15 minutes to make you forget them. Pearson winning that well in the air from McQueen, and as it comes through here to Koppel, that's 2-0. Well, it might go a long way towards killing the cup tie as well. It's going to take an awful lot for Leeds to pull this back now. Well, they're the silent men from Yorkshire. They're side 2 down. Pearson's header. McQueen, Frank Gray, Curry, Clark, Eddie Gray. Played on for Alan Clark. Now this is a chance for Leeds. Oh, and Clark, of all people, missed it. He usually has those for breakfast and really needed that so very badly. Straight through, under pressure from Brian Greenough, and Stepney coming out a whisker wide. Well, 2 United defenders went for that, and here's Eddie Gray. A bit of a tangle there, and Gray with a little chip. Can Jordan get in there for that one? He can't, but can Curry? Oh. Well, that all stemmed from a fault by Jimmy Nicholl on the far side, and Curry in the end very nearly made him pay for it. Just look at the muddle here, and it's Nicholl who loses it to Eddie Gray. Delightful chip by Gray. Jordan menacing at the far post. It comes out, and Curry has to hit it from an angle that proves impossible. The rain coming down really heavily now into the faces of Manchester United, but they really haven't a care in the world. Pearson, Koppel, flicked on again this time for Macari. McQueen right there, and somehow Macari got it back well. Hill, oh, and Stewart had to get down. The virtue of never feeling that the ball is out of play until it finally crosses the line. And that was a beautiful example there of Macari. That looked odds on going over the line, but he hooks it back, and Leeds are vulnerable until Stewart saves from Hill. Leeds trying so hard now to find some way back into this game. Stopped there by Jimmy Nicholl. Beaten Walsall, Queen's Park Rangers, Southampton and Villa of Manchester United on the way to this final. And now well on the way to beating Leeds. Gray having his shot charged down by Macari. They're getting out so quickly, and Nicholl, in fact, being fouled there by Tony Curry. Curry being called to Tom Reynolds, and a yellow card coming out. Yellow card. Greenough, Nicholl, Koppel being forced back there by Peter Hampton. Nicholl forward, Gray right back there, Macari pounding after him. Minutes to go to half-time. Bailey to Cherry. It's Curry. Bailey again. Curry lifting it high there again towards Jordan. Well, Koppel only kept that in for the benefit of Frank Gray and Leeds United. Here's Hampton with the cross. Cherry didn't get a header to it, but Curry did. Now will it come for Eddie Gray? Hit that well as he had to first time, but it was always going over. A long free kick, Curry's header, And it'll come through now there for Eddie Gray. A chance he had to take with the ball high and quickly. Greenoff. Bakari down as Leeds take it up. It's all right again. Curry with the throw. Clark. A touch for Eddie Gray. Onto the right foot and Buchan. Well, I think his heart was a flutter there that easily. A slight mistiming and that would have gone into the back of the net. But the man at the heart of the United defence knew just what he was doing. So it's a corner for Leeds. Well, the anxiety can be seen there as Frankie Gray takes this corner for Leeds. Stepney just getting a fist to it in spite of Gordon McQueen right in front of him. And that's another corner. Well, there'll just about be time to take it and not much more. Curry curling it in again. The backheader by Clark. McQueen right in there. And Cherry right in there. Oh, and it was put behind by McQueen. And that was a golden chance again for Leeds United on the stroke of half-time. The corner, and just watch the back flick here by Alan Clark. The chance falls for Trevor Cherry here. And when that's charged down by Buchan, it falls to McQueen. But it's past the United post. So it stays at 2-0 to United. Here's Gordon Hill. Pearson. Which suggests that although United have done a tremendous job and the lead is deserved, that if Leeds can just snatch something and get that tremendous psychological uplift, this semi-final is anything but over. As the whistle goes for half-time, the cheers from the Manchester United fans. You saw Steve Coppell a moment there who scored the second goal for United. There's Jimmy Greenoff who got the first. Two of the goals that came in the first 16 minutes of the game. But still, uppermost in a lot of Leeds fans' mind will be that miss by Alan Clark when he was right through just after it, that could in fact yet be the most important moment of this FA Cup semi-final at Hillsborough. A lot to come still on this special cup tie edition of the big match today. A half-time score then at Hillsborough. Leeds United 0, Manchester United 2. We'll be right back for that second half. Welcome back then to Hillsborough, where it's windy and wildly exciting, and Manchester United 2-0 up. And Man United would now, with the wind at their back, a side that have twice beaten Leeds United in the league this season. And with Tommy Docherty, the Manchester United manager, having a birthday tomorrow, it's a good weekend for them to celebrate. Certainly the virtues that they've shown in the first half, one of hustling and chasing and running and never allowing Leeds United to get fully into their stride, have paid off. They've really worked for their lead, but here are Leeds with a corner and Pearson right back there to get it away. McQueen, high and hopeful and way off the target. Pearson. Beautiful headwork again there by Pearson. Here's Coppell. Pearson charging on ahead of him. Pearson played wide for Nicol, making another good run. Played in lower this time, and Pearson couldn't quite adjust enough to turn back. And Leeds can't get it away yet. Now Frank Gray should be able to do it for them. Buchan. Though he was impeded there by Jordan, knew just what he wanted to do. Nicol finding Stuart Pearson. Jimmy Greenoff's waiting in the middle, and so too was David Stewart. Pearson looking so lively, some brilliant work he's getting through in the middle of the field with his little headers and his touch-ons, and this time rounding McQueen, and a good piece of goalkeeping by Stewart. Cherry, but straight for Houston. Jimmy Green off, beautiful ball played for Sammy McElroy. Pearson's waiting in the middle, he tried to turn it back for Koppel, and Cherry had done a beautiful shadowing job on Koppel. They just cannot get it away. United coming at them again. McElroy once more. Now Hill. There's the cross coming in, Reaney away for Leeds. Quarter of an hour, second half gone. And no break in the onslaught yet for Leeds United. McElroy turning it back to Jimmy Greenoff. Houston blasting it, deflected, and it finally came through to Stewart. Could so easily have been number 3. Played back nicely there by Jimmy Greenoff. The blast by Stuart Houston, the deflection. And in the end, Koppel couldn't quite get a touch. Alan Clark for Leeds. Played into the path of Cherry. Interesting, 2 against 2. Jordan is the other one, and here he is. Now, if he can get past Nicol, just look how... Oh, penalty! Penalty! Nicol has brought down Jordan, and Leeds now have a chance. This is the incident. Jordan getting past Jimmy Nicol, and that's what brought about the penalty, bringing him down. And now Alan Clark, who scored from the penalty spot last Saturday against Ipswich, now has one of the most important kicks of his career. I remember a World Cup penalty he scored for England in Mexico and against Poland at Wembley. A cool head, a sure shot, and sure Leeds need it now, and they've got it 2-1. Alan Clark has brought this game really back to life. Stepney, a left hand, despairingly touching it, but he couldn't stop it going into the net. And from a moment or two ago, with Manchester United pressing them back, Leeds looked to be out for the count, but now they've got it all back. 1-2 down, and with a chance now to really make Manchester United and their huge army of fans worry in the 22 minutes that remain. That's the incident, and a free kick already taken. Nicol. Hill ducking in low. McQueen. Man United bringing everybody back, and Curry is onside, but Stepney there a fraction before him, but they still haven't got it away, and the ball not out of play. Curry for Leeds. And it's going to be a throw to Manchester United. Leeds, 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 Leeds. And not so much noise now coming from Manchester United. Koppel being told to hurry along that throw. Pearson, Macari, and how United, Manchester United that is, must be grateful for that marvellous start. Hill, Greenoff, and Reaney. Oh, he missed his chance. Hill, and Stewart was down. Hill didn't didn't really clobber that in the way that he wanted to, unlike Paul Reaney to make a mistake like this. A nice 1-2 play between Hill and Jimmy Greenough. Reaney completely misses it, and Stewart saves him. Hill versus Reaney. McElroy. And Stewart bounced very awkwardly in front of him, and there were 3 Manchester United players within 2 yards of him, and he fumbled it for just a moment. This is a shot by McElroy. Just look at that bounce just in front of him, and look at those United players waiting for the slightest mistake. Houston being told by Stepney to get it away. Clark was a little too close for comfort, but he's only got it away as far as Tony Curry. Now can Curry engineer something here? He can. A great shot just over. Well, these little chances are coming Leeds' way, and it's not over by any means yet. This powerful man with a powerful shot, and the midfield trickery to go with it. Getting a yard, but finding it also a yard too high. Bringing on their substitute, Peter Lorimer, the man with an even more powerful shot, of course. And Frank Gray coming off. Foul. Giving a free kick to Leeds United. And here's Hampton. Oh, there's space ahead of him. McQueen, Hill. Interesting ball because Pearson can get to it. Closing in on McQueen. Leeds getting men back. There's Pearson with a shot. Oh, and he had to fist that away. No penalty. Pearson back for Koppel. Whistle gone, free kick to Leeds. Tremendous shot there by Pearson. And the goalkeeper making himself big as David Stewart did there. Just to punch that away, get it away anywhere, give himself some breathing space. A nudge in the back on Hill, not given as a penalty. And the whistle went for that push there. Free kick to Leeds. McElroy with the throw. He's taking a lot of time, and Tom Reynolds won't allow that. In fact, he's blown the whistle. He's going across to have a word with McElroy, and he's going to give McElroy the yellow card for time wasting. When he can find his pencil. Sammy McElroy looks very displeased about it, but in the last minutes of a tense semi-final like this, when you're hanging on to a 2-1 lead, it's right that the referee ensures that the game is allowed to go very quickly from those dead ball situations. McElroy again with a throw, and he took it a lot quicker that time, you'll notice. Here's Jimmy Greenoff. Back to McElroy again. Well, is this the moment? No, it's not. Stewart's there. And a quick throw is going to release Peter Hampton. Here's the slow motion of it. Straight to Stewart. And those victory chants are beginning to build amongst the mass of Manchester United fans now. The red and white scarves are being twirled. The banners are being waved. And the Leeds fans are getting ready to accept defeat. It's a throw to Leeds. We're into injury time, and any time that Tom Reynolds has had it on for time wasting, a throw for Leeds. And maybe the chance to fling one last desperate attack at Manchester United. Here's Lorimer. Play on, says the referee. Here's McQueen, who's come up. And United have brought them all back, determined to concede nothing. A check with both linesmen. And United, as they belt that ball into the stand, Steve Coppell, are a matter of seconds away from the final. Those 2 goals in that opening 16 minutes have done it for them. Hard though Leeds have come at them in this second half. But here's Eddie Gray. It's a throw from Brian Greenough. So Leeds with a throw. Curry with a long throw. Clark trying to get the header in. It'll come for Cherry, who's hit it too high and falls to the ground in the agony of that moment that might have saved everything for Leeds. The long throw, and there it comes out for Cherry. Slips and it goes over the top. Referee's done well, and really he's just really got one more job to do, and that's to blow the final whistle. But here's Coppell now for Manchester United. They'll want to keep the ball at that end of the field. A throw to Leeds. Cherry with it. To Lorimer. Time added on for injuries, and time wasting now amounts to 2 minutes. Lorimer takes it up again for Leeds. The long ball if Gray can get to it. But it's getting away from him. And that could well be the last chance, and it is. Manchester United are through to Wembley for the second successive year. Their players embrace each other as you look at the delighted Manchester United fans. Scenes of joy from the men in red, who worked and worked and worked to build that winning lead in the first half, and saw it whittled away by the penalty in the second and had 1 or 2 moments that scared them. But look at those scenes of joy from United, who badly want to repair the damage to their pride and make it up to their fans for that defeat in the final last year. Now they've got that chance, with the goals coming from Jimmy Greenough and Steve Coppell in the first 16 minutes, and Alan Clark from the penalty spot for Leeds in the second half. As they go off the field, Leeds 1, Manchester United 2. That is the score in this semi-final at Hillsborough.
And indeed, as cup semi-finals go, it wasn't at all a bad game. Plenty of skillful football about it, certainly a bit of needle as well. And for Jimmy Greenough, he at last got past that semi-final stage of the FA Cup. He'd played a big part in scoring Manchester United's first goal. Right at the finish, Fred Dinage spoke to Jimmy.
Jimmy, it's a daft question, but how are you feeling, mate?
Well, that's it. Like you said, it's a daft question. I'm just over the moon. I thought I was fated never to get to Wembley in an FA Cup final, and it's finally happened. I just can't believe it.
Because the extraordinary thing is you've played on 4 losing FA Cup semi-final teams. It's almost a dream come true, isn't it?
It is, and when they got the penalty, I thought, aye, here it goes again, you know. It's going to be another replay and get beat in the replay, but no, the lads held on tremendous.
You've got off to this dream start, of course, a goal from yourself and one from Stevie Coppell, and that was just the way that Tommy Docherty planned it, wasn't it?
It was exactly. We set off just as he wanted us to, and I don't think he could have asked for more.
And then came the penalty, the Leeds penalty you've spoken about, the foul on Joe Jordan, but was it a penalty, do you think, or not?
I couldn't see. Someone ran in front of me just as Jimmy Nicholl tackled him. I couldn't see.
Tremendous display from Manchester United. Were you disappointed with Leeds?
No, I think when we set the stall out, you know, no one can live with us, and I think for the first half they just couldn't live with us.
Jimmy Greenough of Manchester United, a winner at last in a semi-final. And a little later I had the opportunity to get both sides of that semi-final story from Stuart Pearson, who I thought had a magnificent match for Manchester United, and Don Howe, the former Arsenal coach, now the coach at Leeds United. And first of all I spoke to Stuart Pearson.
I would have thought the way you hustled and chased and fought in that first half, the Leeds might have been tempted to count the number of red shirts on the field. I mean, was that a part of the game? I mean,
well, this is our game. This is what Manchester United's all about. We hustle, bustle, and then when we get the ball up front, then you play your stuff. This is what Tommy Doc's got into us, and it's worked quite well lately.
Yeah, but 2 goals in the first 16 minutes of the semi-final, that's really too much to hope for.
Yeah, it's a great start, and like you said, after last year's disappointment, the boys were really raring to go for this one. This was the big one for us.
Yeah. Coming to you, Don, I mean, you were thrown out of your stride. You never really got going, did you? Do you think your side froze a little bit in those early stages of a semi-final?
Oh, undoubtedly, yes. You know, we were quite surprised sitting on the bench because we've got experienced players there who've been in this position before, and yet for some unknown reason, where we're moving about and we're playing in little groups and supporting the ball and then making runs off the ball, for some unknown reason, the players today stopped in their own little positions and held those positions. It was hard for the player on the ball.
Must be hellish for you. I mean, you can never legislate for that sort of thing on a training ground on a Wednesday morning, for example, how teams are going to react to a situation like that.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you try and get them into a relaxed mood, but you've got to kind of get into them before the game. I mean, they know it's important, but you've got to get them alert and sharp, but relaxed. But when they get out there, you hope that your experienced players can get all of the youngsters, people like Frank Gray and Peter Hampton, and calm them down. But for some unknown reason, we didn't.
It's a one-off situation, Stuart, as they say in a semi-final. What about the first goal, Jimmy Greenoff's? I mean, first of all, what a difference he's made to your side, hasn't he? He's given a balance that you didn't quite have before.
First of all, Jimmy Greenoff's one of the best volleys of ball I've ever seen in my life, and Big Stu got up great and he flicked it on, and it was a bit unfortunate for Frankie Gray. It seemed to skim off his foot, and Jimmy stuck it in great.
What about the Frankie Gray incident? I mean, do you attach any blame to him, Don?
No, the only thing I would say, it was a right-footed clearance, really, and him being very left-sided, like his brother Eddie. He kind of put his left foot across his body and kind of he went down his leg and dropped off to Jimmy Greenoff, who then stuck it away great.
Well, this, in fact, is the first Manchester United goal. Gordon Hill's corner. And look at this lovely backward-headed flick here by Stuart Houston. That really made it. And now watch as Frankie Gray, as Don Howe was saying, that really was a right-footed clearance, but he's a left-footed man, and what a volley by Jimmy Greenoff. But what about the second Manchester United goal?
It's quite a good move, actually, yeah. The ball played down the left wing and I nodded it on, and I think Sammy somehow got it across, and Steve hit it on the volley first time, and it went in like a rocket.
Well, Stuart Houston, whose headed flick had led to the first goal, now with a throw that leads towards the second one. Whacked forward in a moment by Gordon Hill. Jimmy Greenoff again shielding the ball well. There's a rather high and hopeful whack forward, but look how well Stuart Pearson does here. Against Gordon McQueen, who's usually so good in the air himself, but Pearson's timing and spring are brilliant. And now look at the amount of movement that Gordon Hill has made to get into that position. And then this superb volley, readjusting himself, Steve Coppell, a lashing volley into the back of that Leeds United net. And those two United goals flattened Leeds United, but Leeds did have their chances, and in particular one that fell to Alan Clark in the first half. I asked Don Howe about that one.
He got through the inside left spot, a nice ball, and it looked like a left-footed ball to me, and yet he took it with his right. And the right foot pulled it away from the goal and it hit the side netting. But we also had two other good chances. There was a corner where he dropped to Trevor Cherry, who had a shot blocked, which he should have scored off, and then he dropped to Gordon McQueen and he hit it over the top. So Alan Clark shouldn't take all the blame.
No.
So this is the Alan Clark miss. Remember, Manchester United have just gone 2 goals into the lead, and this really would have been such a vital time to get back. Lovely piece of play here by Eddie Gray. He pushes a perfect pass through for Clark, and as Don Howe said, it looks like a left-foot shot, except that Alan Clark decides to play it onto the right foot, and agonisingly it goes just 1 foot wide of the Manchester United net. This is the other chance just before half-time, Tony Curry's corner. Don Howe saying that he thought that Trevor Cherry had a chance here, but I think just look at the number of Manchester United players back in that 6-yard area. Some 7 or 8 of them, and Cherry's shot is blocked there by Martin Buchan, and really it's only a snatch shot that presents itself there to Gordon McQueen.
Tell me for a moment, let's talk about Stuart Pearson. To me, you know, sparing his blushes, he was undoubtedly their man of the match. He didn't score, but I thought he had a tremendous game. I mean, what was your professional view of Stuart today?
Well, he plays like a centre-forward should play. He plays basically with his back to goal. He makes himself available for any player to play up to him, and his layoffs are good, and he's sharp. And he's coming off the centre halves, and he's laying these balls back, and he's laying them back accurately, and he takes a lot of stick down the back of his legs. What I would say is that Jimmy Greenoff's helping him because he's taking that type of work on the other side of the pitch, which gives them a nice balance.
You wouldn't argue with that?
No, I'll agree with that. We was going through a bad patch just before Christmas, and then he bought Jimmy. And as Don said, I was more or less the only man up front. And now I can vary my game a little bit. I can go short, and I still know Jimmy's in the middle. So it's helped me a lot, and it's helped the side a lot as well.
Do you take a fair bit of stick up the back of the legs?
Well, I think everybody does. It's just one of them things you accept. There's not that much stupid stuff goes on, just the odd silly so-and-so. But it's part of the game. You accept it and just get on with the game.
Yeah.
Just two examples of Stuart Pearson's great skill that makes him such a brilliant centre-forward, and why Don Revie, for example, sets such store by his quality. Look at this, the way he comes away from that defender, twists in mid-air and heads down a perfect ball there for Lou Macari. And Macari's pass on for Jimmy Greenough, just gathering a little bit of pace there, otherwise what a brilliant move that would have been. And Stuart Pearson, for a small man, he's not only quick, but he's very strong as well. And as Nicol plays this ball through here, again he's away from Gordon McQueen and gets past the big Scotsman's challenge, whips in the cross, and it's another Scot there, David Stewart, who saves the day for Leeds.
I won't ask you who you prefer in the final, because I'm sure at this moment you don't care.
Well, I do actually, yeah, because Liverpool are probably the best side in the country, and I'd rather have Everton.
You won't take the challenge of Liverpool yet, then?
No way. But if it comes along, we'll take them on at their own game, and I fancy us to beat Liverpool as well.
Stuart, thanks very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
Commiserations to you, Don.
Thank you.
Now, I know a lot of you like to collect football programmes and are always interested in what the football programmes for big games look like. In fact, there were two very, very good ones yesterday for those semi-finals. This is the one from Main Road, Liverpool against Everton. Very glossy indeed, with a nice lot of colour, and a far cry from the old days when it was the teams and just a little bit of news. They really are a very good read and a magazine in their own right. But for style, the one that really caught our eye yesterday was this one at Hillsborough. The Battle of the Roses, Leeds United against Manchester United. A beautiful cover, look, even to the point of a red rose and a white rose at the bottom. And colour inside as well, for Leeds United fans there. A nice bit of style in the middle of the programme there, if I can get to it, the Battle of the Roses. Here we are. And not forgetting the Man United fans, a nice big colour picture there as well. But now we come to our Golden Goals competition of 1977. And last week we indulged ourselves a little by showing you the top 20 goals seen on ITV this season. And what a wonderful collection they were. As I said, the problem will be cutting them down to our final 6. Well, I've got to be honest with you, we ducked out of that and got Malcolm McDonald, Division 1's leading scorer this season, and he got one yesterday as well against Coventry. We got Supermac to choose them for us, and you'll see the final 6 that he chose in a moment. What you have to do is to make up your mind which goal is best, which is second best, which is third best, right the way through in an order of merit, down to the 6th best. So here we go then. Goal A, scored by Rodney Marsh, and he scored it for Fulham against Hereford United at Craven Cottage.
Levinson for Fulham. Played inside for Marsh. Looking around, seeing who he can pick up. Decides to kill one in. Oh my goodness, what a goal! Oh, what a tremendous goal by Marsh!
Goal B, scored by Derek Hales, then of Charlton Athletic, and it came against Hull City down at the Valley.
Colin Powell for Charlton. To Hales. A little touch for Hunt. Powell again. Long raking stride. Warman. Powell has continued his run. And Warman couldn't quite pick him up, but now he has. Well, he's gone past him. And he's got a good cross in. Oh, what a goal! Hales again!
Goal C, scored by Paul Mariner for Ipswich against West Bromwich Albion, and this came at Portman Road.
Forward goes Mills, Giles takes it off him, but Walker's in there hard. Wymark and Mariner waiting for help. Mariner on his own. Oh, what a goal!
Goal D, scored by Ken Stroud of Swindon Town, and this came in a cup tie against First Division Everton at Swindon.
Moss.
Sirrett's little flick. Stroud. What a good shot!
Goal E. This one was scored by Alan Taylor for West Ham United in their match against Arsenal at Highbury.
Taylor. Nice turn. The pass to Jennings. The touch for Rookie. Tulakowski has come up quickly on this side. Here he is. Lampard's gone up as well to join him. That's the ball aimed for Frank Lampard. Armstrong shrugged off that ball by Lampard. Took chance. Oh, and a brilliant goal. A brilliant West Ham goal by Alan Taylor.
Goal F. Here's one by Ronnie Goodlass for Everton against West Ham United in their First Division game at Upton Park.
Devonshire. Oh, he didn't quite clear Latchford. And now a good run now for Goodlass. Oh, and he's seen. Oh, and he's a goal! What brilliant thinking there by Ronnie Goodlass.
For the man who scores the winning goal in our Golden Goals competition, he gets this trophy, which is now becoming one of the prizes for strikers to win up and down the country. Well, that's it then. Another thrilling weekend of cup football behind us, and Manchester United back at Wembley for the second successive year, thanks to their 2 goals yesterday, and now with a chance to make amends not only to themselves, as Stuart Pearson said, but to their fans as well, as Wembley awaits them.
As Leeds organise themselves in their penalty area. On the wind, a back header by Houston, and Jimmy Greenough. Greenough, Hill planted high and hopefully forward. Oh, that time Pearson won it in the air, and it might come now for Koppel. That's the second one, a brilliant goal for Manchester United.